this is Dubey Shambhavi and today I am here to demonstrate how to take blood pressure manually. So for that we need an instrument which is called as sphygmomanometer and stethoscope. So this is our sphygmomanometer. So it consists of a dial and it is attached to a cuff which is also called as inflation bladder, and this is our pumping device onto which we can pump over, and this is our stethoscope. So now I'm going to tell you some important points how and when you're taking the blood pressure. So keep that in mind that you need to check the cuff size of your patient. It should not be too large or it should not be too small. It should be otherwise it might give you an inaccurate reading. So just keep that in mind that the width size of your inflatable bladder or your cuff should be 40% of your upper arm. That is, it should be 12 or 14 centimeter of your upper arm, right, of an average adult. And secondly, the length of your this inflatable bladder should cover 80% of your patient's upper arm, cause so that it can encircle the patient's upper arm perfectly. It can wrap it. And also make sure if the patient is coming into your clinic, you should not immediately take his reading. You should give him some time, at least 15, 10 or 20 minutes, so that the person can be a little bit calm and can relax. Don't just give him some time and instruct him not to consume any caffeinated products. He should not consume a cigarette, or you should not exercise 30 minutes prior to taking a blood pressure. And your patient should be calm and relaxed. He should not be anxious or too tense or nervous. So you can just calm him and ask him to relax. So yeah, keep that in mind. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to take blood pressure, but before that it is really important to consult your patient, to inform your patient that what you're going to do. So for today my patient is Mr. Narinder. So do I have a permission to measure your blood pressure?
Yes.
Thank you. So to start up, firstly we're going to see the patient's elbow. So here it is. So here we're gonna see this is antecubital fossa, and medial to this is our brachial artery. So we're gonna palpate the brachial artery, right? And we're gonna feel it. So yes, I can feel it and it's strong. So now we're gonna put our cuff inflatable bladder over our patient's arm. So here it is. But before that, one thing, just make sure that this is our our artery index, or you can say artery marker. So this should align with the brachial artery of our patient, right? So since it is his left arm, so we're going to place it over here. So make sure that this artery index marker should align over your brachial artery. So here it is, right? And now we're going to wrap this bladder over his upper arm. Now make sure that it is this cuff, what you are wrapping, is not too either tight or loose. And for that, what you can do is you can put your 2 fingers inside. If it can go underneath the bladder, then it's fine. Is it okay or okay? So, and also make sure that the lower border of this bladder should be 2 to 2.5 centimeter above the antecubital crease. So yeah, and one thing very important, that you should ask your patient to be relaxed and calm, and the position of the feet. So ask your patient to keep they should not keep their legs crossed. So otherwise they might get a higher BP reading. So yes, you can see here, I want you to sit straight and your legs should be properly. So ask them to relax, and yes. So now we're going to palpate the radial nerve. So here it is, and we're going to inflate the bladder until the radial nerve, radial pulse disappear, and we're going to see the reading in this dial. So now I'm going to inflate it. So before that, this valve should be closed, just check it. So wait 1 second, yeah. So now I'm going to inflate it. So here you can see 110. Yeah, so now here his radial pulse, I'm not able to feel it, so this we'll consider as our standard, you know, we're gonna add in this 110 30 millimeters of mercury, and we'll consider it for our next reading. And after that, so, rapidly we have to just deflate this gauge and give at least 15 to 30 seconds, and then we'll take the next measurement. So since previously we got 110, so now we're gonna add 30 on it, so it is 140. So we will just inflate our cuff up to 140, and then we'll slowly deflate it until the point we won't be hearing the sound, right? So before that, I'll put on my stethoscope, right? And wait, I'll put on my stethoscope. So this is the diaphragm of the stethoscope, and I'll place it over the onto the this antecubital fossa, onto the brachial artery, and I'll hear the sound which is called as Korkhoff sounds. So basically when I'll inflate it up to 140, I'll hear the sound, and I'll slowly deflate this pumping device, and the first or the initial sound which I'll hear will basically correspond to the systolic pressure, and slowly that sound will disappear or it will fade away. So the last, at the end, when I won't be hearing any sound, that will correspond to our diastolic pressure. So now I'll demonstrate it, right? So here I go. So as I said, I'm going to place it over here, over the antecubital fossa onto the brachial artery here, and I'm going to first hear the sound. Wait. Yes, I can hear. Now I'll just remember to just close the gauge before pumping in. So I'll pump it up to 140. So here is 140. So yeah, I got my first sound at 110. Now I'll slowly deflate it more. So yeah, I got my second sound at 65. Now after 30-40 mmHg more, I'll completely deflate it. So yeah, I got my first sound at 110 millimeters of mercury. And the second one, the last where the sound disappeared, it was 65 millimeters of mercury. So basically the initial sound which I heard, it corresponds to the systolic pressure, whereas the point where the sound completely disappeared, it was around 65. So it corresponds to the diastolic pressure. So his blood pressure is 110 over 65. So your blood pressure is 110 over 65. So yeah, that's it. And after that, you need to remove this bladder, and yeah, so that's it. It's done. Thank you.